My exposure to the IHO dates back to 1963 when I was commissioned an ensign in the Coast and Geodetic Survey, which is now the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Commission Corps. And NOAA controls the data acquisition and issuance of the 1,000 charts that cover U.S. waters. As a new ensign and going to sea on a hydrographic ship, we were exposed immediately to the IHO standards for hydrography, which are very important because a ship transiting to Europe or Asia expects to have the same quality of data and pretty much the same display, regardless of where they're traveling with their ships. And in 1984, I took over the Exclusive Economic Zone Mapping Project inside of NOAA after President Reagan claimed the 200-mile limit under the law of the sea. And that at that time we were transitioning technology from single beam, where we measured just a profile under the ship, to an entire array of beams, and we measured the entire area under a ship, which enabled three-dimensional display of the data. And at that time, we wrote articles for the International Hydrographic Review, which is the scientific or the professional publication of IHO. And we received the Commodore Cooper Medal for that from IHO. Then in 1992, the United States put me forward as a possible candidate for the directing committee, and I had the pleasure to be elected president and stayed in this beautiful city of Monte Carlo. Well, I lived in Monte Carlo, but I was in the Principality of Monaco, and was a great experience. I was president from 1992 to 1997. The Canadians had been digitizing the JEBCO, and not digitizing, they had been compiling the paper chart JEBCO series of the entire globe, and that was being digitized to make the JEBCO Digital Atlas. The JEBCO Digital Atlas eventually became one of the major inputs for what we know today as Google Ocean. Probably the most significant thing we did during that period was the development of the S57 standard for electronic charts, which was really led by Adam Kerr. But in November of 1995, Adam and I went to the International Maritime Organization, and we obtained permission to modify the Safety of Life at Sea Convention, which regulates international shipping, to have the electronic chart be the equivalent of the paper chart, which was a very significant step forward. And the final thing during that period was the government of Monaco was interested in having the Bureau relocate from one side of the harbor to the other. And so we moved to this side of the harbor and to the large pink building on this side of the harbor. And we gained a number of things at that point. We gained a computer room. We had put high-speed internet under the floor. We gained a kitchen. We gained a terrace, rooftop terrace for receptions. And we have wonderful quarters here. I met with the architect every week during the 2 years leading up to the building of this beautiful place. And I very much love what happened there, where the government of Monaco was very good. I believe the future challenge to the International Hydrographic Organization is to work on the assimilation, quality control, and dissemination of the huge volume of data that is coming out from not only from hydrographic offices with modern multibeam systems, but also from crowdsourced organizations, fishermen, cruise ships, geophysical companies, and most recently, the Clean Harbors Organization in the United States. It employs thousands of people involved in cleaning up harbors when there are natural disasters. So when a hurricane occurs, they're involved in the removal of the debris and those things, and they have to do surveying in order to do that. And that's a huge effort going on at the present time. It's important to remember that a topographic map is different than a nautical chart. The nautical charts that are issued by the hydrographic offices are under continual maintenance. And so in the paper chart days, it used to take months for us to get the information to the mariner. But in the digital world that we're in today, it's near real time. And this is an infrastructure that's difficult to maintain, and it'll be a challenge into the future.